So I've got my newest predicament and my newest stress. It's always the way when things have sort of settled down with one thing or another. Adaptions done, PIP awarded, all that sort of stuff. And then it's like, what else can life throw at me? I went for an assessment for adaptions on my next vehicle, and I had the choice of going somewhere that's not too far away, which is like, I don't know, about a half-hour drive in total, or one that's quite a huge distance away, that I've got no chance of driving to it myself, and I've got to ask someone to take me, that is able to drive my car, which is in Solihull, near Birmingham Airport. And so anyway, I chose to go to the local-ish one just because it's one I could get to. The other one I've got no chance on, and I've got to ask for somebody to take me. And I thought I'd see what they say first and foremost. I had to go through a test of hand strength. Before then, they'd wrote down medical conditions, all my medications that I take, things that I've needed for me, any previous adaptions in this vehicle that I've got now, just the hoist, things like that. And then they did the hand test. Well, there was an OT that was in there, and there was also a guy that deals with all the adaptions in vehicles and looks at them from a disabled point of view and what they can do to help make your life easier. They asked me what I was looking for, and I said I basically was after a vehicle that's going to make my life easier, and that I'm going to enjoy using, rather than something that works against me and makes my life really hard, and I struggle to get in the car and out the car and take my chair with me, and things like that. Putting my little chair in the car, I've got to take the seat off, which is really heavy and awkward, and there's many a time where I've nearly dropped it. Put it on the back seat, and then use the hoist for the base part of my chair. It doesn't all connect in one. And I said it's very painful and hard enough to do it once, but then if I go in a shop, do what I've got to do, which is also exhausting, I've then got to collapse the chair, put it back in the car, then get home, then go and get the chair out and get my bits out and go in, that kind of a thing. And it's just constant wear and tear on myself. So if I can go from like shops, nip out somewhere, do something else, every time it's in and out, out in and all the rest of it, and it's really, really difficult and exhausting. And I could do that about 4 times if I had to in some places, and when I come to the last time, I'm absolutely and utterly buggered. I ain't gonna lie, I feel like I can't do this. And there's times I've stood and cried putting the chair together, or taking it apart, and it's a lot. And it's not so bad if I have someone with me that can help, but when I'm on my own, it is a lot. And nowadays I don't use my car anywhere near as much for that reason. I tend to use my big Fox powered chair for out and about, because it's just easier for me to use, to just be already in it, and I'm not doing the mauling half a dozen times of chair and seat, and it's a lot. Anyway, I then had to do, which they said was a very good answer. I then needed to be able to do a feet test. So it was like she had her feet to the angle of her foot pedal, and I had to basically push down with the right foot as hard as I could to push her feet to the floor. And she was like, keep going, keep going, keep going. And I said, I can't do it anymore. I did it as best as I could. I had to do twist tests. I had to do stretching, like as in like with my head up and down and side to side kind of thing. Side twists, like as if I was reaching for a seatbelt kind of thing, to see how comfortably I could stretch, and I couldn't do that very well. And then she asked about back pain and what it's like sometimes, and I said I feel like as if the lower part of my back I get a lot of pain. How often I go to the doctors and all that sort of stuff, and I thought, well, when it becomes a normal pain for you, you're not going to want to be going to the doctors every 5 minutes. And I've got an appointment in a few weeks to assess how I'm getting on with this patch that I've got on, morphine patch. See how we're getting on with that. But yeah, they concluded that I basically, the pair of them, because he observed, he also had to phone up the DVLA over my driving licence. I couldn't hear what was said, even though he was sat next to me. I couldn't hear what was said, and I could just about hear the person on the end of the phone because the phone wasn't turned to how I would have it. So I just agreed to the guy getting permission over my driving licence, and I've got to phone up the DVLA when I get this report through from them, to declare all my medical conditions. And I don't know, it's really nerve-wracking, and you know, I'm worried. I mean, they said at this stage of the game, all you're doing is declaring your medical conditions, but you need to do it. And I've asked before when I've been to doctors and stuff, am I okay to drive and all the rest of it? And they're like, yeah, it's fine. It's not affecting you behind the wheel. So I've never known for me to need to phone up the DVLA, but now they're saying that they want me to do that. And then they said that when you get adaptions put on your vehicle of any sort, proper adaptions, you will have to notify the DVLA, and then they will put points, they'll put things on your licence basically. And I was like, okay. I've also got to see what, I've got to go to Solihull. I've asked a neighbour if he could do that, and he said, yeah, no problem, because he volunteered to take me. And in a nutshell, they've got lots and lots of different adapted vehicles down there. I won't be able to drive one because I haven't got a crash tested chair on me when I go these places. Well, my little one that I've got, my Rascal Rio with coaster wheels, isn't crash tested. And for you to be able to drive with a car, with a wheelchair that locks in place, it has to be crash tested, and the Fox that I've got is. However, I can't get that to these places. You know, it's impossible for anybody. My son, who just waits, can't get that in the car, so I've got no chance of getting that in the car. So anyway, I've got to drive down there, see what's available. Apparently an adapted vehicle that I need comes with different things, rules and regulations, and to qualify for one of those on the scheme, you've got to be working, you've got to be doing something voluntary, you've got to have a child that's a dependent bloody blah. There's 6 or 7 different rules and regulations, and I don't qualify for all of them because I don't work, I don't do anything voluntary, I don't do this, I don't do that, I don't do the other. So I've got to see if they will allow me help for a vehicle, and I could offer to have it on a lease for 5 years instead of 3, which is what I did with my Qashqai anyway, with help with payments, and I extended it, and I'd happily extend again, because for me it isn't about going to a dealership and getting a brand new spanking car. It doesn't bother me that. I want something that's going to help me at the end of the day, that's life changing for me. They basically both said, and this is with the guy that deals with the vehicle side of things, he says, okay, he says, you need a car that is button controlled, not pedal. Your feet cannot do it. He says, our concern is that if you needed to do an emergency stop in the vehicle you're in, you wouldn't be able to stop. And they asked me how comfortable I was with that. Would I be able to just stop the car dead in its feet? And I said, I really don't know. It is something I've thought about, and I don't know is the answer to that one. So anyway, that's what their concern is, and they're going to put it in the notes that they're concerned I can't stop the car as an emergency stop. They also are concerned with how I am and how much pain I'm in and driving a regular car, even though that it's an automatic. They said you need one that basically is going to be able to benefit you, and that is with no hoist. You need to be able to get your chair in. Even if you had to get in with the wheelchair and then transfer, but it has to be a crash tested one, because of the nature of how it's going to sit in the car. It's got to be able to be in there. So that's that. So the sort of car that I have at the moment is going to be no more. I know that for a fact. But it just depends. Solihull, they will show what alternatives are available. Should Motability say no to helping me with a costing for an SUV type thing, what they can offer me. And they also have to do a home test. They also have to see what kind of parking availability there is for me. And that's it. I mean, right now, how often do I use the vehicle? Nowhere near than what I wanted to, because it's the constantly having to take my chair apart and put it in the car, nip out, do what I've got to do, come back. It's horrendous. I can't do it, and I get really stressy about the whole thing. I do. I get really stressed out. So the plan is, that's what I've got to do, is see what they say at Solihull, what they can show me, what they can advise me. I take it from there, and then I'll contact the Motability and see what they can do for me, put it all in a plan, and then see what they come back with. And if they agree to a certain type of vehicle, brilliant. If not, then I'm stuck. If there really is no solution, then obviously I will not be driving anymore. But they've said that they want to keep me as mobile as possible, because I've got hospital appointments that I go to, doctor's appointments. It's just to keep the independent side of things as going as possible. They want to keep you there, and that's what the whole point of Motability is. So it's just a case of waiting now on this appointment. We'll wait on this report first, then wait to see what they say, and take it from there. Of course it worries me, but a part of me thinks, do you know what? I don't really drive anymore. I don't really drive. The only times that I use the car is for doctor's appointments, picking up medications, vets, that kind of a thing. Going to pick up cat litter that's really heavy and awkward. Going to places like retail parks and stuff that I don't normally go to. Yeah. You know, things like that, and that is the plan for me future wise, that if I don't drive, then I'm gonna just do things slightly differently. It's just rethinking the whole thing, to be honest, of life and how you do things. And I mean, I've got care persons that come over. I can ask them to pick up medications. I'll be needing somebody on an extra day to come over just so they can help with things. Yeah, that kind of stuff. You know, taxis for the vets, taxis to go up to the doctors, or bus. But I don't know how buses work for me. I've not done buses in a very long time, and you know, I don't know how close to the doctors they are from where I live, and then coming back. It'd probably be easier if I end up with a bigger, you know, if I don't drive in Motability, then I'll get something in the form of a chair that's going to be a lot more robust, and one of the really big ones instead, so then I could use that for out and about to places, but put it with breakdown cover, so then if anything happens, at least I've got that covered. Yeah, there'll be loads of different things going on. In my life. I've made decisions that I'm hoping that they will allow me to have this, one of the vehicles, but if they don't, then things are going to change. I'm not, you know, I'm local to everything, so I'm not going to be stuck. I'm going to make myself a coffee. Come away from the kettle. I've got a cat that has to sit directly on top of the kettle. Even when it's on, he just does not move. I know I've worsened. I feel like I've worsened a lot more. I've got a doctor's appointment in a couple of weeks. I couldn't get in to see him any sooner. So I'm going to ask him. I need to see somebody over my feet and over my skin and my legs and stuff. I know I see dermatology, but it's like, I don't know. Ideally I want someone that's local, not somebody further away. And I don't know what happens if I've got a doctor's appointment, a hospital appointment, and I can't drive to it. What happens? You know, whilst I'm waiting on these vehicle things to happen, I need to check the box and see. So I've got a letterbox on my wall. I need to check to see if the letters arrived yet from the place that I went to on Cannock. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to have a look in a minute and see if it's there. It's probably not. It'll take a few days. They told me to contact so and so, and then I'm like, yeah, okay. But I've got to nip out. I'm going to see if a friend of mine can come and do my garden space for me just give it a quick tidy round. It's not a big garden space, it's just a strip that goes around the outside of my flat. If someone wants to come and do that for me. Yeah, because I just haven't got the energy and everything to do it anymore. I really don't. I don't have the energy, I don't have the anything. So, yeah, I'll see. I know I've worsened. I feel in myself like my energy levels have just dropped dramatically, and my pain levels have risen, and everything feels so much worse. I need to see somebody, but I don't know who. I'll ask at the doctor's when I go next time, because he seemed really nice and really keen to help. And seeing clued up on my conditions as well, which is really refreshing, because not many doctors seem to be au fait with fibromyalgia and for arthritis and stuff. And he takes as long as he needs. Oh, you lost your ball under the gate. Let me get it. Hang on 1 second. These cats have lost their ball. Yeah, they lost both their bouncy balls. One's got a pom-pom ball that is obsessed with and growls and makes noises like anything when he's got it in his mouth. The other one's got a springy, half green, half pink ball, and it's got some bounce in it, and it got a bit overbounced and shot through the gate slats, and they both sat there like, oh no, it's gone. So I don't know. I need to get what I need to get from my bedroom finished off as soon as possible, and then I'm going to work on getting those drawers looked at, and then after that I'll see what gets said. I mean, decorating wise at the minute it'll get done, but not right this minute. I need to get those shelves and bits sorted out for in the bedroom, get everything as much as possible in the upcoming weeks, and then I'm going to focus on putting some money together, sort the cats out, get them all up at the vets one at a time, just to check up really. Luna, Percy, Cosmo and Luna are the 4 that I'm not concerned about. Gizmo needs to go to the vets, he's sitting there beside me. I need him checked over to make sure he's okay with his health and his age and everything. And then Peaches needs injections that she's never had. I just haven't got round to them because of her operation that she's had, and then other things as well that she's had to have done, and we just never got round to it. But she's been spayed and operated on for a hernia, and yeah, it's like, come on now, let's get this sorted out. So time's ticking on. I need to get that sorted out for her. And then we'll see after that. Yeah, we'll see after that how things go, what's going to happen next. But I just want this appointment to Solihull as soon as possible, so I can get in, so I can see what they've got to offer me as alternatives. Because at the end of the day, we know that there's no way that I can drive a regular car anymore. I can do it, but there are days now where I've had to cancel appointments because it's too much on my feet. And then there's the driving back as well. It's not so much always getting there, it's afterwards and coming back. So there's that as well. And it's a lot on the body. It's a lot. So, but they have decided at the Canuck one that I'm not suited for the Qashqai anymore. I am suited for something with a button, push button, basically a bar for brake, and all that sort of stuff. And I've got to go for driving lessons as well with this new vehicle. And then when I'm confident, then a sign to say I'm confident, and away I go. But there is a risk that I might not actually be any good with the buttons. It might not be for me. So at the end of the day, I might not be any good with things like that myself. We'll see. It's not going to be a 5-minute appointment, it's going to be a couple of hours, and then we'll see when I get back what they're gonna do, what they're gonna say, how they're gonna help further. Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot to consider, there's a lot to weigh up, and it's seeing whether Motability will help with finances. But it's just to help me as much as possible, basically, for another 5 years, and then after that we'll see, because by then I might have thought, you know what, I've had enough of driving. I don't want to, you know, it's just not worth the bother. We'll see what happens. It's a lot to weigh up, and just to see exactly what's what. Yeah, we'll see. But it's just another stressor at the minute, waiting, and I dread going out in it. And I can use it, they're not saying I can't drive, but at this stage of the game I've got to let the DVLA know about my health conditions as soon as this report comes, and then I can specifically tell them exactly what's up with me, and then take it from there. You know, I don't know, it's just a big stress. It's just something else to worry over at the minute, and I'm trying not to think too much into it right this second, but I just know that my time with driving could be at an end. I just gotta wait and see what they say. And I'm gonna nip out in a minute. Obviously once I've got dressed, I'm not gonna go out like this. But I need to see, so I've got to get some cat biscuits for them, because they're nearly out of those things, and I've got another week to go till I get paid, and I need to get another bag of that. I might get another bag of this clumping cat litter. I think I will, because it just seems to last that bit longer. Seems better quality. I never thought I'd agree with this stuff, but it's good. When you've got 6 cats, you want anything that's going to make life a lot easier, and it's a lot cheaper and easier to manage than what you've got currently. I mean, you're constantly throwing so much stuff away. It's a lot of money, and you know, you're trying to save money where you can. and clumping cat litter, I think, is the way forward. All I want to do now is get my last bits bought for the bedroom. I need my wardrobe sorting out. A wardrobe sorting out. I need that shelving to go in for my plants. And my drawers looking at. So, but I might ask a neighbour to look at those, see if he's any good at a bit of carpentry. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go. I've rattled on long enough. Catch you later, guys. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.